Good morning. As the sun rises over Los Angeles, the city awakens to another day filled with possibility, and sometimes, unrest. Protests are a vital part of democracy, a way for people to make their voices heard and demand change. In cities like Los Angeles, demonstrations are woven into the fabric of civic life, with crowds regularly gathering to express their hopes, frustrations, and demands for justice. But recently, something unusual happened. Driverless Waymo taxis, once seen as marvels of modern technology, suddenly became the focus of intense anger and public outcry. These autonomous vehicles, typically symbols of progress and innovation, found themselves at the center of a destructive conflict, their sleek exteriors battered by the chaos that erupted around them. The protests began as a response to new immigration policies, drawing together a diverse cross-section of the city: students, workers, families, and activists, each carrying their own stories and reasons for marching downtown. As the day wore on, what started as a peaceful demonstration began to escalate. Tensions rose, emotions flared, and the city's streets became a stage for both passionate advocacy and sudden chaos, with police struggling to maintain order. Waymo vehicles, following their programmed routes, inadvertently drove straight into the heart of the unrest. Suddenly, these driverless cars became unexpected targets, caught in the crossfire of a movement much larger than themselves. Their futuristic design, once a symbol of progress and promise, now made them stand out even more, transforming them from mundane city fixtures into lightning rods for collective frustration and anger. The clash between human rights protesters and the cold, calculated presence of technology created a powerful, almost surreal image. It was a confrontation not just of people and machines, but of ideals and anxieties about the future. This moment highlighted the growing tension between rapid technological change and the unresolved social issues that still divide our communities. It forced everyone to confront the reality that progress can sometimes outpace our ability to adapt. The sight of these advanced machines engulfed by chaos was a stark reminder. Technology, no matter how advanced, operates in a world filled with human emotion, unpredictability, and deeply rooted social challenges. In the aftermath, the city was left to grapple with difficult questions. The events forced a new conversation about the place of innovation in society and whether our technological advancements are truly serving everyone. The question now is clear. How do we balance the relentless march of progress with the complex realities of our social fabric? As Los Angeles reflects, the world watches, searching for answers in the intersection of technology and humanity. Late in the afternoon, the protests turned violent on a busy Los Angeles street. A small fleet of Waymo taxis became trapped among the crowds. Protesters slashed tires, smashed windows, and spray-painted slogans on the vehicles. Doors were ripped off, and the cars were systematically dismantled. The destruction peaked when 3 of the 5 taxis were set on fire, thick black smoke rising over the city. Lime scooters were thrown into the flames, adding to the chaos. First responders struggled to reach the scene, facing hazardous fires and dense crowds. The charred remains of the high-tech cars became a symbol of the day's fury. The city was left to grapple with the aftermath and what it meant for the future. Burning an electric vehicle is a far more complex and hazardous event than most people realize. Unlike traditional gasoline-powered cars, electric vehicles contain high-capacity lithium-ion batteries that can turn a simple accident into a life-threatening emergency. When these batteries are damaged, they can unleash a phenomenon called thermal runaway, a violent chain reaction that's nearly impossible to stop once it begins. The energy stored inside a lithium-ion battery is immense. If the battery is punctured or short-circuited, it can rapidly overheat, releasing intense heat and flammable gases. This can cause the fire to spread quickly, engulfing the entire vehicle in flames within minutes. These fires burn at much higher temperatures than gasoline fires, making them extremely difficult for firefighters to control and extinguish. The flames can reach temperatures that melt metal and concrete, posing a serious risk to anyone nearby. Water alone often isn't enough to put out the blaze. In fact, the fire can reignite hours or even days later, long after it appears to be out. This makes electric vehicle fires especially challenging for emergency crews. Toxic smoke is another major danger. Burning batteries release hazardous gases like hydrogen fluoride and other chemicals, which can cause serious health problems for anyone exposed, even at a distance. That's why, during the Los Angeles incident, Police issued urgent warnings and quickly evacuated the area to protect bystanders from the toxic fumes and potential explosions. Even after the flames are out, the danger isn't over. The battery can still hold a residual charge, and damaged cells may continue to smolder or reignite unexpectedly. Towing and storing the wrecks require special procedures and equipment to prevent further incidents. Standard tow trucks and storage yards aren't always equipped to handle these unique hazards. The incident served as a dramatic lesson in the new and evolving dangers that come with electric vehicles, highlighting risks that many people, and even some first responders, may not fully understand. It underscored the urgent need for specialized training, updated safety protocols, and new equipment for first responders, so they can safely manage these high-tech hazards in the future. In response to the attacks, Waymo quickly suspended its driverless taxi service in downtown Los Angeles. The company also imposed new restrictions in San Francisco, signaling broader concerns about civil unrest. Now, Waymo must factor social and political volatility into its operations, not just technical safety. This shift means developing protocols to detect and avoid protests or volatile situations in real time. The pause in service is a sobering moment for the industry, revealing the vulnerability of even the most advanced technology. Billions invested in safety can't shield these vehicles from unpredictable human behavior. The future of driverless cars now depends on both technological reliability and social acceptance. The industry faces a new challenge, coexisting with the unpredictable reality of our cities. Why attack a driverless car during an immigration protest? Waymo vehicles have become cultural symbols, representing corporate power, automation, and a future that feels out of reach for many. For some, they embody job loss and deepening inequality, especially as automation threatens livelihoods. The cars are visible emblems of tech wealth developed by giants like Alphabet. Attacking them is a way to strike at a system that feels remote and unaccountable. The driverless car, empty and impersonal, is an easy target. No human inside to confront. Vandalizing it becomes a safe, potent act of defiance against a future that seems to neglect real people. The protest wasn't just about immigration. It was about anxiety over automation and economic insecurity. The Waymo car became a lightning rod for all those fears. The attacks on Waymo vehicles were more than random vandalism. They were loaded with symbolism. Each act was a pointed response to the growing presence of autonomous technology in the city, and a challenge to the narrative of inevitable progress. These weren't just isolated incidents, but a collective outcry from people who felt left out of the conversation about their own streets. Protesters first slashed tires, immobilizing the high-tech cars with a simple act. It was a reminder that even the most advanced machines can be brought to a halt by basic human resistance. The sight of these expensive vehicles stranded on the curb was a powerful image. Technology, stopped in its tracks by the people it was supposed to serve. Spray-painted slogans turned the vehicles into moving billboards for the protest. The graffiti wasn't just about defacement, it was about reclaiming public space, using the cars themselves to broadcast messages of frustration and dissent. Each slogan was a demand to be heard, a refusal to let these machines pass silently through the city. Smashing windows and ripping off doors was a visceral rejection of what the cars represented. It was a way to physically dismantle the idea that technology could simply roll in and reshape daily life without resistance. The violence of the act mirrored the intensity of the feelings behind it, a raw, unfiltered response to a future that felt imposed. Throwing lime scooters into the burning taxis added another layer, one form of urban tech destroying another. It was a chaotic collision of innovations, each promising to change the city, now tangled together in protest. The scooters, once symbols of convenience and progress, became tools of disruption, fueling the flames both literally and figuratively. Setting the cars on fire was the ultimate statement, a dramatic rejection of this vision of the future. The flames lit up the night, drawing attention to the deep divisions over who gets to decide what progress looks like. It was a moment that demanded to be witnessed, impossible to ignore. The image of a self-driving car engulfed in flames sent a clear message. This technology, and what it stands for, is not welcome here. For many, it was a symbol of resistance, a way to reclaim agency in a rapidly changing world. The destruction forced onlookers to confront the intersection of technology, protest, and power. It was a spectacle that drew crowds, sparking conversations about who benefits from innovation and who gets left behind. The protesters' actions ensured the event would be seen and debated far beyond Los Angeles. News cameras captured every moment, amplifying the message and turning a local protest into a national conversation about the future of cities. The city's streets became a stage for a much larger conversation. Here, the battle over technology played out in real time, with every smashed window and burning car adding fuel to the debate. The message, progress must answer to the people it affects. In the end, the protests forced a reckoning. Technology cannot simply be imposed from above. It must be shaped by the voices and needs of the community, or risk being rejected in the most dramatic ways possible. News of the burning Waymo taxis sparked immediate divided reactions. Some condemned the destruction as senseless violence that undermined the protest's message. Others saw the attack as a desperate cry for attention from those left behind by technological change. The tech community viewed it as a setback for innovation and public safety. City officials focused on the dangers of EV fires and the need for new rules. The incident forced leaders to rethink how autonomous vehicles fit into the social fabric of cities. The debate is no longer just about technology, it's about its place in society. The burning Waymo cars are a warning about the challenges of integrating technology into daily life. It's not enough for innovations to work. They must earn public trust and acceptance. Companies like Waymo need to engage communities, address fears, and show real benefits for everyone. Cities must create policies that ensure technology serves all residents, not just the privileged. Public input and transparency are crucial for building trust. The event is a wake-up call for both tech companies and city governments. The future of technology in cities must be a collaborative process, not dictated from the top down. The protests remind us, progress is about people, not just machines. Balancing innovation with equity and safety will be a defining challenge. How we respond will shape whether technology unites or divides us. The events in Los Angeles left us with unforgettable images, protests for human rights and futuristic cars in flames. These scenes capture the collision of social justice and rapid technological change. The Waymo attacks weren't just about cars, they were about what those cars represent. To some, they promise a better future. To others, they symbolize job loss and unchecked corporate power. The destruction was a raw message to the forces reshaping society. We can't separate technology from politics or social anxiety. Moving forward requires empathy, open dialogue, and proactive leadership. The path to a driverless future is more complicated than anyone imagined. Technology alone can't solve our problems. It's up to us to shape its impact. Our ability to navigate this new world will determine if the future works for everyone.